book began about 8 years ago when I was at a conference for women lawyers. And the keynote speaker got up and she stood at the podium. And the first thing she said before she even introduced herself was, "Attention everyone, please open your binders and throw away the bio that you have of me."
The bio that they had for me was not my lawyer bio. It said the biography of Reverend Angela F. Williams. It was really an accident on the part of my assistant.
My assistant made a mistake. She put the wrong bio in your materials. Today I'm here as a corporate lawyer, but the bio you have in your packages is of my life as a Baptist minister.
Here's the deal. If any of you need counseling or any prayer, I'll talk to you after the conference in the back of the room. Meanwhile, I'm here to talk about corporate law. Marci was in the audience of that conference, and that's how we met.
What I mean by saying that Angela inspired me to write the book is when I was sitting in the audience that day, and I heard about this lawyer/minister, I had to meet her. We keep emphasizing the word slash because that's really what my book is all about. It's about the many slashes we all carry around. So I went over to Angela and I talked to her for a while at the cocktail hour, and she explained to me that the way she looked at her dual lives is they didn't seem disconnected to her. They were all just two aspects of one person. I think Angela is part of a bigger movement in how we look at careers and how we look at work life and how we look at being fulfilled and finding meaning and finding our authentic selves.
I noticed that Sanjay Gupta on CNN is a surgeon and a correspondent, and he actually performed surgery on a few people in Iraq. So this thing was happening at like the highest level of achievement, and it was happening in everyday life around us.
Some of the people in the book are entrepreneurs or they're creative people, and they have a whole creative life and a working life. So they were trying to find ways to kind of make those things work and to kind of capitalize on time management and how do I make enough time for all the things I have to do.
There's a wonderful young guy that I followed for a while named Terrence Bradford, and he is so extreme in his slash identities that he has two names. Terrence Bradford by day, Billy Shakes by night. Terrence Bradford is a financial planner for Prudential in New Jersey. He lives here in the Bronx. By night, he's a rapper, and he specializes in like the college circuit. So he travels around to colleges all over the country doing his rap routine. But what his mission is in his rapping is to educate people about money and how the world of money works.
There's a guy in my book who's a longshoreman. He works on the docks in Philadelphia, and that's been in his family for years. He's third-generation longshoreman in the union. But it's the kind of job that gave him a lot of free time. He had well-defined hours, and even though it was very, very hard physical work, he had a lot of time to pursue his passions, and his passion is film.
So Joe's first film, Echoes of a Ghost Minion, was about the withering Jewish community in South Philadelphia near where Joe grew up. And Joe's not Jewish, so here's a Catholic guy writing a film about the Jewish community, and I think that also got people interested, that you made a film that's not about your own world, but a world next door. I was fascinated by how it was for you when you didn't know if you were going to make it as a filmmaker, and for a while you didn't tell your fellow workers in the longshoreman world. What was that period like?
Well, some of my friends there knew about it. As far as they're concerned, my colleagues on the waterfront, I treat them the same way I do other people. I really do. If I'm interested in them and I think they're bright and I can have a good conversation with them, I talk with them. If I don't, I avoid them.
And right from the beginning you told them, oh, I'm adding this new part to my life, I'm kind of exploring this.
I didn't put it like that.
How did you say it?
How did you say that again?
I'm exploring something.
I'm adding this new part to my life? That would raise some eyebrows.
I talked to a lot of people who developed a really deep slash at midlife or at any point in their life. You can do experiments and you can see what appeals to you. And you can do it at times when you have room in your life. And then what you need to do is be honest with yourself and see, do I like that thing I just experimented in? And if I don't, try something new. A lot of people get afraid. What if I don't know what that other passion is? Well, try a few things, like when you were a kid. What did you love to do when nobody paid you to do anything, right? I found slashing is happening everywhere. I have as many men and women in the book, and I have people of all ages, at all life stages. That said, now that I'm out with the message of the book, for some reason, it's really resonating with women a lot. I'm getting invited to speak at all kinds of women's groups, and I think it's mostly because women have the obvious work-family thing that seems to put more pressure on them, and they have it no matter what else they're dealing with in their lives. Men are starting to deal with that more and be more open with that and make more decisions about it. But I do get a lot of responses from women's groups asking me to come speak, saying that this really resonates with women, saying that women have a slash life even if they don't want to. The younger people coming out of school right now, when I talk to them and when I read about them, they're sometimes called the millennials or Gen Y, they all tell me, oh, this is how we have to live. There is no secure corporate job anymore. We all have to be entrepreneurial. We all have to have many things going at once. And we want to experiment. We want our 20s to be experiences of, exploration. So I think younger people coming out now, they kind of get this concept already.
So I'm going to wrap up kind of coming for full circle to Angela Williams. When I met her, she was a prosecutor. She then got a job at a law firm where she was doing white-collar defense. She then moved on all the time, camping her church activities and running boards of nonprofits and keeping both sides of her life very alive and very connected. But she always found these ways to have the overlap happen. So as a prosecutor, she was put on a team that investigated a series of arsons at African-American churches throughout the South. Then she was appointed to the Bush-Clinton-Katrina Fund to oversee a pot of money, $20 million, that was set aside to rebuild churches that were destroyed in the wake of Katrina. So again, they took a lawyer who has all this administrative background and a spiritual life to go into that kind of a role. What I see with everybody in this that I've kind of collected in on this whole journey is that people who describe themselves with slashes are not static in any way. And I look at my own career like this. I know this book has taken me to some different places, and I'll be sitting down in a few months and reevaluating what are the next opportunities. Is this another book? Is there somewhere else I want to go from here? How do I want to shake up the mix? And also I'll be looking at what are the different strands? Where am I going to go to for my steady security piece? Where am I going to go to kind of for my high risk, high return piece of my career? Where am I going to go for the stuff that feeds my soul? And all the people that I've been tracking are building lives just like this.